This demonstration is recorded at our factory and will not resemble every job site that you may be assigned. Please take into consideration the resources available to you and how to apply this video accordingly. In this portion of the video, we at Europa Style Windows will walk you through the instructions to show you how to assemble and install the sliding door. First, you must check the order numbers on the packaging to match your records, as each individual sliding door has its own specific place based on the job number and its own pieces. The code is divided up into 5 portions. The first portion of the code indicates the floor or level the product is to be installed. Second is the order number combined with the item number. Third is how many of that particular item is in the whole order. Fourth is how many packages are to come with that item. And lastly is the reference on the schedule of the architectural drawings. When opening the packages, please ensure your cutting device stays away from the products as it could scratch or damage them. Ensure that all of the necessary components are included in your package that you need to put the frame and the sliding door together. Subhead, subsill, 2 jambs, bottom track, top tracks with louvers already fastened, 2 angles and threshold cappings. Locking adapters. After checking, leave all the safety tapes on the exterior of the products and carefully unpack the remaining items needed. Make sure to dispose of all rubbish in the designated areas. After unpacking, check all the materials to ensure there are no significant dents or defects. It is recommended to assemble the frames on trestles or wood planks to keep the products elevated and avoid damaging them from the floor. At this stage of assembly, you will need the top and bottom tracks and the 2 jambs. First, you need to remove the screws from the top and bottom tracks. Remove the gasket tape off the jamb frames, then screw the jambs into the top track louvers. There should be 8 screws in total, 4 on each side. Now screw the jambs into the bottom tracks. There should be 4 screws in total, 2 on each side. You will need to seal them with silicone. Now that the frame is complete, it is ready to be installed into the opening. Now you will be installing the sliding door. Screw in the hob into the ground. Screw 1/8 hole in the subsill every 600 centers. Make sure the hob and the bottom sill are leveled with each other from the inside of the building. Then install the subsill. Wipe down the areas where you put the screws. You will need to seal them with silicone. This is very critical in preventing any future water damage or leakage into the frame, then into the building. The same process applies to the subhead, as it did for the subsill, without silicone. Now install the frames into the subsills and subhead. Then screw the frame into the fixing point from the back of the inside channel or the inner part of the frame. If the frame is attached to concrete, in this case you must only use the inside channel to screw in the frames. You can cover the screws, which are showing with the fixed panel and the gaskets in front of the locking adapter. Now you will need the other components that you have left: the sliding sash and the fixed sash panel. Again, please check to make sure the numbers are matching correctly on the order. Please remember to keep both of the doors elevated from the floor to prevent any scratching as you prepare for installation. Also, as a reminder, please take off the protective tape as needed. Try and keep as much of the product protected at all times. Install the fixed panel by aligning it into the frame. It is recommended to use suction cups when lifting these heavy items for your safety and not to damage the product. And cut the tape on the side of the panels after putting it into the frame. Remove the tape from the side jambs and remove the metal pieces from the locking adapters. Clip the locking adapters into the jamb. You can fasten the locking adapters to the metal frames of the locking adapter. Remove the protective tape on the front and the back on 3 sides of the door and from the track. Install the siding panel into the frames. Now remove the protective tape from the area you will be installing the handles. Install the handle. You will need a manual screwdriver. After putting it into place, align the cylinder and the inside screw. Please check that the handles are fastened correctly and working. Should you have any difficulties, try adjusting the metal clips on the locking adapters. Install the door stop where you see the small holes using a manual screwdriver. The last step is to attach the threshold adapters to the top and bottom tracks. Now you are ready to caulk the silicone around the frame and install the angles. After installing all the components together, check all the mechanisms are working correctly and the sliding sash is hitting the door stoppers evenly. And give the keys to your site supervisor for a handover. Please note that Europa Style Windows provides this instructional video as a suggested method of assembly and installations. Please follow and adhere to your work site regulations.